Hello everyone and welcome back to Blade Bias. I flipped the Vulp for a week, pretty much only the Vulp actually, and this is what I learned. Welcome to the new setup, by the way. I'll do a video going over all this in this little recording session. I don't know when it's going to come out, so whatever order they come in, just know that there's going to be some out of order stuff, but main point, I'm in the apartment. I have the Vulp, and I'm going to tell you about it. So, I have basically EDC'd the Vulp since I got it, which I believe was like a week or two ago. But I'm just going to say a week for the simplicity of saying a week. This thing is quite easily the best trainer on Amazon. Hands down, there is nothing better on Amazon. The Morse is good, but it doesn't compete. The stuff from Bally Shark is weird, and as you can imagine, doesn't compete. It's incredible. $60 for a balisong that not only flips well, but looks amazing, has good specs, and holds up fairly well, except for the obvious tolerance issues that a lot of people are having. But we'll get to that. Overall, the good on this thing is really good. The balance is okay. Well, no, the balance is great, actually. The design is really nice. The build is pretty good. For $60, you were getting a hell of a balisong here. Just like, this is the sort of thing that I bet pretty much everyone wanted when they got into it. This is the sort of thing that so many people would have killed to have back in the day, especially for $60. Availability right now isn't the greatest, but the idea is to get it to a fully, always available thing. Which, once they do that, the ability to buy one of these for the price that it's at, to have Amazon shipping behind it whenever you want, it would be incredible. It'll be absolutely incredible. So far, my experience with it, I really like it. As I mentioned, it's nice and light. Feels nice and neutral to me. Chaplains, as you can see, aren't the stickiest, but the prototype was much worse with chaplains, so that's fine. These little chevrons right here, they're sharp. They aren't finished the greatest, although as I've used it, they've kind of worn in. It doesn't, at least what I remember it feeling like when I got it out of the box, it doesn't feel as sharp as it did. I've also heard that it depends on the kind of model that you get. Like, it can kind of mess with your fans. If you fan and you grip up here too hard, the little chevrons can, like, dig into your hand. It won't feel the greatest. And also the grip on the side of these handles right here, there's not much here. There's not really a bead blast or anything on this, so it's kind of a vortex situation where unless you're grabbing anywhere else, it's fine. But once you get into something like, trying to even think of a trick. I know there's tricks that you grip up here. And, like, I guess an underhand twirl like this is kind of difficult unless you're really squeezing. But yeah, other than that, the grip is great. The chevrons help a lot. The line down here helps a lot. The jimping is some of the best implementation of jimping that I've ever felt. In terms of the grip that it provides for things like ladders, it won't move. I can actually do ladder-based tricks on this thing, which I can't really do on my other balisongs because it just doesn't move. There's no dropping it. Compare that to something like the Arctic, where if you try to do the same thing, like, it works, but it's kind of going to slide out of your hand, you know? It works, but I'm losing grip on it, and it eventually is going to do that. So, the jimping is awesome. I know some people aren't going to like the aggressive jimping, and I understand that, because it is going to feel a little weird when you fan. But I am absolutely loving it so far. Whew, okay, my foot. Other little idiosyncrasies with it. I've heard it's very difficult to take apart. I'm going to do just that as soon as I get my hands on some sandpaper so I can tune the bushings. Although I have heard some tricks that should help with the take apart process, the disassembly process. You can find that over on Death Flip's Instagram. Ty helped him make a video to try and get people educated on how to take this thing apart and put it back together without damaging it. Because, like I said, as I've heard, it is quite difficult. Also, this bottle opener is rough. If you get out of sync with what handle you're on, and this thing catches you in the right way, I feel like it could hook into you. It just I have felt multiple times where I go for a chaplain and I'm on the wrong handle accidentally, and it just impales itself into your finger. Sure, it's not a live blade, and it's not even something like a Nautilus or a squid trainer where it's going to actually draw blood if you hit it hard enough. But the feeling that you get when that bottle opener really grips your finger is almost indescribable. It is this really weird, like, oh my gosh, my finger is going to be hooked open, you know? So that's a bit... It's fine. It's a really good bite indicator, don't get me wrong. But I am definitely more of a fan of the, hey, this thing's going to kind of scratch you, not really grip your whole finger and make it feel like it's going to rip it open, which I doubt this thing would do. But speaking on the bottle opener, having a bottle opener on a balisong is something I've never had, and it's super useful. It actually works. I got to try it in the prototype at Blade Show, and the bottle opener works just fine. So to have that in a balisong that I actually would want to carry every day is awesome. Durability is okay. It's 6061 aluminum, so it's going to take some beating, especially if you drop it onto pavement or concrete or something like that. But it's not going to fall apart on you like a cheaper plastic balisong like a Squiddy would if you drop it too many times. And it shouldn't have the issue that the Arctic has where it binds up if you drop it wrong on the pivots. Although the feel in the hand, as expected for this price range, isn't exactly the greatest. If I pick up an Arctic, let's say, and the Vulp, I can instantly tell the difference between the two. The Arctic just has this feeling to it. Maybe it's the anodization on this thing, maybe it's the aluminum that they used, but it just feels... It doesn't feel as quality as something, like I said, like an Arctic or even a Mako would feel, which is not really a complaint. It's to be expected considering this thing is half the price, but it is something worth mentioning. And the final thing worth mentioning is the tolerances. Now, I historically have gone really hard on something like the Nautilus for having terrible tolerances and getting tapped really easily out of the box. I'm going to be a bit more lenient here considering this is, like I said, $60 and super, super cheap and super good for the price. But also the fact that they provide enough extra hardware in the box to where I can learn how to tune that sort of stuff. I can come over to the box, and if I take this apart to sand the bushings and I mess it up, I can come over here to the box and get some more bushings. I was scared to do that on the Nautilus because I didn't want to mess anything up. And I didn't want to have to send it back to Squid for the second time and lose out on my $250 balisong. So going in on the tolerances of one of the most expensive things in my collection at that point made sense. Whereas here, I'm not going to be so harsh on it because 2 of these is 1 of these. Not only is it easy to replace, not only is it pretty inexpensive, but I have extra hardware that I don't have to worry about messing up on. So to use this thing as a tool to learn how to tune bushings and learn how to get the tap out of your balisongs, it's amazing, especially for beginners. Just having that option there is fantastic. So while it is slightly disappointing to see so many people having issues with tap and all that, it is the perfect opportunity to learn how to tune bushings, and an opportunity that I plan on taking advantage of as soon as I can get some sandpaper and get in there and just tune it up. But yeah, my week or so with the Vulp has been really, really good. I find myself picking up other balisongs and being like, this is good. Like, specifically like the Kraken Trainer. Things like the Kraken Trainer, I don't know. Like, they're good, don't get me wrong, but the Vulp just feels like the flipping experience is so good with the neutrality of it and the weight of it. It's just like, damn, this almost feels like what the Kraken trainer should have been, you know? And don't get me wrong, I still love the Kraken trainer, but it is just a bit handle biased for my taste. I don't know why I'm worrying about putting this away all nice. It is pretty handle biased, so to have a lighter, more neutral balisong is really nice, and it honestly feels a bit closer to the live blade. I don't know if that's crazy to say, that the Vulp feels closer to the live blade Kraken than the Kraken trainer does, but part of me wants to say that. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that if you own a Vulp and a Kraken live blade. But yeah, that was my week with the Vulp. This thing not only makes an amazing EDC, a beater, or just a new balisong to buy for a beginner. I bought one for Farbos. He seems to like it so far. If they break, you can buy another one pretty easily. Like, it's super awesome. And it's something that, like, I just can't even get into words for the price. It's comfortable. It flips well. It looks cool. Sure, there's a few problems. But overall, like, I don't really think you can complain for the price that this thing is at. This thing, I seriously believe that you could price this at $120 and people still wouldn't complain. Maybe the tolerances would be a bigger issue at $120. But if you take away the tolerance issues, like a well-tuned Vulp, I could see selling for $120 retail. And I don't think many people would complain at that price. It would still be a really, really compelling offer in the balisong community. But yeah, just figured I would get my initial impressions out on the Vulp. I will be doing a full review on it. Don't you worry about that. Might take a little bit because obviously I'm back at school and have a lot of other things going on. But yeah, that was my week with the Vulp. Let me know what you guys think of the Vulp so far down in the comments. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.